Yo, what's up fam? Welcome to Simplisticate.boot, and I hope you all are doing great today. So here in this video I'm going to show you how to design this wake up in the name of Jesus church flyer you are seeing on the page right here in Photoshop like this. Back in the days I had a comment from one of you guys that I should make a video on a flyer with a theme Jesus in it. So I went down to Photoshop to craft something out just to share with my family here on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this video and make the best out of it. Thank you for clicking to watch this video, and let's get it started. So please go down into the description to download the resources we are going to need to design this flyer, and inside the resources I have left the flyer details. So this is going to guide us through the process. Okay guys, let's jump right into Photoshop. So here in Photoshop we are going to start by creating our new document. So we will go to file, click on new like this. Okay, so over here we'll come here to the unit and take the unit of inches like this, and inside we are going to take a 4x4 work page. So I'm going to just take 4 here, 4 width of 4, okay, and a height of 4, so something like a perfect squared work page. All right guys, leaving resolution at 300, or just put it at 300 if you don't have yours at 300. I have RGB color mode set and we are good to go. So I'll hit on create because we are actually done. All right guys, so we are going to start by creating our background for our design. So all I'm going to do is to come here to my shape tools and take my rectangle tool like this. I'm having it on black color for now. You're going to change that very soon. So all I'm going to do is to create this nice rectangle over the page like this. All right guys, so this is it. I'm going to have to keep it right here. Okay, so I'm going to release it, and right here we have our properties panel opened like this. So all I'm going to do is to uncheck this chain icon right here, this highlight, black highlights like this. I'm going to click to uncheck it. So I'm going to first take this slider at the bottom left like this. Okay, just increase it and it will effect some changes right here at the left side on the page like this. Okay, so I have a number I'm going to increase it to. So I'm going to increase it to 300 pixels like this, and we are good to go. So I'm going to apply the same effect to the right side. So I'm going to apply it 300 pixels like this, and we are good to go. So this is it. All I'm going to do is to close this panel like this and bring it right here. Okay, so this is what we should be having on our pages. All right guys, the roundness at the bottom of the shape like that. So all I'm going to do is to create a very nice gradient fill for this shape we have just created. So I'll come here to my FX and click on blending options to open the layer style. Okay, so right here in the layer style I'm going to take gradient overlay because we actually want to create a gradient fill for the shape. So here in the gradient overlay I'm going to show you the settings. You have to put style on radial like this, and keep angles on 0 degrees, sorry for that, 0 degrees for now, and scale on 100%. Okay, so click inside the gradient and we are good to go. I already have my gradient set like this is it, but then I'm going to show you how to create it. So you have to first click and drag to the top this top right slider right there. Just drag to the top just to remove the transparency in yours. Okay, like that. Okay, all I'm going to do from here is to take this left slider and click inside the color and go into the details. So here in the details I have this gradient color right here at the top, the very first one. So I'm going to take the left color code like this. I'll copy it and paste it right here in Photoshop. So this is it. I'm going to paste it right here. So this is the color fill on the page, and I'm going to hit OK. I'll take the next slider, which is the right slider. I'll click inside the color and just go into the details and copy the next color code right at the next side of the details like that. So I'll copy it like this and just go into Photoshop and paste it right here in Photoshop just to have it feeling like this on the page. All right guys, this is what you should be having like this. So over here all I'm going to do is to make sure my angle is at 40 degrees just to make it spread wide like this, just as you are seeing it on the page. Okay, we are done from here. So all I'm going to do is to hit OK, and we are actually done. So please note this step I'm coming to do. I'm going to make a duplicate of this by dragging down to the new layer icon right here like this, and then I'll take the bottom shape like this. I'll close the eye of this and work on the first one, okay, just for reference sake. So all I'm going to do is to right click on this particular layer and go to rasterize layer style, just to rasterize the layer style of it like that, just as you are seeing it. So I made it this way just because I'm coming to create clipping mask. Anytime you create a clipping mask on a gradient overlaid object or something like the shape we have just created, it is not going to work. Okay, so you have to rasterize the layer style first, and you'll be good to go. Okay guys, so from here I'm going to show you why I made it. So I'm going to just go to file and place embedded to bring in the background images we are going to need. So I'm going to just bring in this green radar like this and place it on the page like this. All right guys, so this is it. All I'm going to do is to enlarge it. Okay, I'm going to enlarge it just to fill the page, something like this, just so that it becomes big like that on the page. All right guys, so this is it. I'll take done because we're actually done. I'm going to right click here and go to create. I'll go to create clipping mask like this, just to clip mask it inside. So the reason I rasterize the shape here is because when we take this particular shape right here, which has not been rasterized, okay, and bring back okay, let me close the tool here and bring this image from our resources. Okay, so this is it. I am going to enlarge it just as I made the first one like this. So I'm going to click it like that. Okay, so I'll come to the layer and try to create the clipping mask onto this rectangle shape like this and see what will happen. Okay, so I'm going to right click and go to create clipping mask. So this is it. Nothing is going to show up. Okay, so you first have to rasterize the layer style like this before it is going to show up. So this was the essence of the rasterization. So I'm going to press Ctrl+Z and delete this green radar like this and close the eye of this and bring the first two back to active. Okay guys, so we are going to continue from there like that. Okay, so this is it. It is now clip marks inside. So all we are going to do is to put the green radar on the blend mode overlay like this, just to get it popping out like that. I went through and overlay was the best, okay, the suitable one for our design or for the blending like that. So I'll hit okay and we have the blending mode overlay set like that. So from here all I'm going to do is to go to filter, blur and Gaussian blur. I'm going to blur somewhere about, not all that much, somewhere about 4 pixels or 5 pixels at most, okay, like that, and we are good to go. I'll hit okay because we're actually done. From here I'll give it a layer mask, okay, because I don't want it filling all over the shape like that. So all I'm going to do is to take the gradient tool like this from here after giving it a layer mask and make sure it's on black and white like this, the basic colors like this. Okay, so black and white like that, and just come to the page and just hold shift. By holding shift, drag to the top to create this nice line on the page like this. Okay, just to fade it inside like that. You can do it a couple of times just to get it smooth and we are good to go. So from here all I'm going to do is to make a duplicate by dragging down to the new layer icon just to make the duplicates like this on the page. All right guys, so all I'm going to do, it is too deep, okay, so I don't want it that way. All I'm going to do is to reduce the opacity of this to 50% and just to make it fill in nicely on the page. So this is the essence, just to make it a bit deeper and we are good to go. All right guys, so this is it. All I'm going to do is to go to file and place embedded again. Just going to bring in this rainbow twist image right here. I'll place it embedded like this. All I'm going to do is to enlarge it like this just to fill the page. Okay, so this is it. Make sure it's centered like that. Okay, I'll hit okay because we're actually done. I'll come to the layer and right click and go to create clipping mask. So as to clip mask it or keep it inside the rectangles like that, rectangle layer like this. Okay, so this is what you should be having on the page. From here all I'm going to do is to go to filter, blur and radar blur. So here we're just going to take radar blur and we are going to take the amount of 10 like this. Okay, and please keep the setting. I have the setting on of the blur mode on blur method on spin and the quality on good, something like this, and you hit okay when you are done. So we should be having something like this effect happening on the page. From here I'll go to filter, blur and Gaussian blur and blur somewhere about 4 pixels. Okay, just two effects and we are good to go. So this is it. All I'm going to do from here is to put blend mode on color dodge. Okay, on color dodge, something like this. It's really cool. Okay, like this is what we actually made it for. I'm going to create a clipping mask of it and take my brush tool from here. Sorry for how my brush tool is appearing, but then I'm going to show you the brush settings here in the settings like this. I have the size on 700, sorry, and then hardness of 0 and a soft round brush like this, and we are good to go. Make sure your foreground color is on black just to clean and white to restore like this. This is white to restore any mistake and black to clean. So I'm going to increase opacity to 100. Make sure your opacity is at 100 and I'm going to clean. All I'm going to do is to clean on this image we have just created like this. So I'm going to clean the sides, okay, leaving the dark side, which is this side. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to clean the top here too like this, because we actually do not want all of it like that. Okay, so this is how I want it filling my page, and I have gotten it myself. Okay guys, so this is it. I'm going to undo it like something like this, just for you to see how the cleaning went. All right guys, so this is it. You can also create a duplicate just to make it deeper like this on the page. All right, but then we don't want it this way. We actually do not want it this way. I'm going to delete it like this, and we are good to go. All right guys, so this is it. All I'm going to do is to group the whole of the backgrounds we have just created for now and name it background. So I'm going to group the whole of these images and shape and name it background. Ctrl+G to group as well. So I'm going to name it background like this. Okay guys, so this is it. From here, all we're going to do is to import some golden image. I'll go to file and place embedded, and we're going to bring in this gold background texture like this. Okay, so with this gold background texture, we're not going to use all of it on the page, but then I'm going to increase the size just for it to fill the page, cover all of the page like this. Okay, just as I'm doing, I'll move it to the top like this, because I don't want it filling somewhere at the bottom. Okay, we don't want it anywhere near the bottom like that where the white is. Okay, so this is it. Move it to the top, and we are good to go. So from here, all I'm going to do is to send this right below, okay, the backgrounds like this, group like that, just as you are seeing it. So this is what we should be having on our pages. From here, I'll go to, it is somehow too sharp, okay, sharp looking, so I'll go to filter and apply some blur. So I'll go to blur and Gaussian blur. Okay, so here I'm going to blur about 4 or 5 pixels. Is very cool. Okay, so this is it, not that much. All right guys, so this is what we should be having on our pages. So this is it. This is all about it, and we are good to go guys. So we are going to here next, what we're going to do next is to import, okay, our man of God onto the page. So all I'm going to do is to go to file and place embedded. We have our man of God inside our resources. I'll bring in this first man of God. I'll place embedded like this. Okay, so this is it. All I'm going to do is to reduce the size. I don't want it this big. Okay, so I'll reduce the size, make sure it is centered a bit. So I'm going to right click and flip horizontal, because I want him like the other way, and tilt it a bit like that. Okay, so this is what I'm having on my page. All right guys, so this is it. I am actually going to create the first one like this and speed out the rest of the men of God, like just for us to keep track with time. Okay guys, all right guys, so what we're going to do is to show you how to go about this man of God, and we'll move on to the next ones. Okay, so I'll take this man of God and come here to the layer mask icon here, add a layer mask like this, and take the brush tool. So all I'm going to do is to show you my brush settings. As usual, my screen recorder isn't giving me the brush size, so my size is at let me put it at 350 pixels and hardness of 0, soft front brush, and we are good to go. Make sure opacity and flow is always at 100%, and take the foreground color black. Okay, so this is it, and we are good to go. All I'm going to do is to clean. I'm going to clean the bottom of this man of God like this. Okay guys, just as you are seeing him on the page. So see you at the rest of the man of God at the end. Goodbye. Alright guys, welcome. So I actually left this side off like this just to correct it at this end, at the end of the arrangements. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. We don't want the transparency on the shirt, okay, showing the shirt of this woman of God right here. So what we're going to do is to correct it. So we're going to take this man of God, go into the layer mask, okay, and take the brush tool like this. So over here with the brush tool selected, I'm going to take the foreground color white, or switch it to white like this. Make sure opacity and flow is at 100, and just brush back, okay, the part that is transparent like this. All right guys, just as you are seeing it on the page. Okay, so this is it. This is how I want it feeling on the page. All right, guys, on this woman of God too, I can see some transparency on her shirt. So I'm going to just take the layer mask and take the brush tool like this and make sure the foreground color is white, and just I'm going to reduce the brush size, okay, like this to somewhere about 100. Okay, 100 is okay, and 0% hardness as usual, and soft one brush. So this is, I'm going to brush back the transparency like this on her shirt, like that. Okay, just as you are seeing it. Oops, Control plus Z to undo that. All right, guys, so this is it. This is what I want to like for you guys to see. Okay, guys, so this is it. This is what we are having on our page, the arrangement of the man of God. This man has to go away from the woman of God like that. Okay, so this is okay for us like this. So all I'm going to do is to group all of it, okay, and like this, and name it emoji. Okay, emoji full meaning is man of God, like that. Okay, guys, so all I'm going to do is to go to edit on the group like that. With the group selected, go to edit and take free transform like this. So over here I'm going to make sure to position it at the center, okay, because it has to be centered like this on the page. All right, just as you are seeing me doing. Okay, guys, I'll hit okay because we're actually done here. Or you can as well go to select all, and just take this center alignment like this, and go to select again and make sure to take deselect like this. It will be good. So this is it. This is what you should be having on your page. I feel it is not well centered, so we have to do it manually. I'll just Control plus T to free transform and enlarge it a bit, just so that this man they move a bit to the right like that, just as you are seeing it. I'll take done because we are actually done. Okay, so with the group of the emoji selected, I'm going to take the ellipse tool from here. Okay, from here all I'm going to do is to draw this nice ellipse on the page like this on the page. All right, guys, I'll take my move tool from here. I'll close this panel like that. I'll double click here this time now and go into the details. So here in the details I have this yellow gradient. Okay, so we are going to take this first color code here at the left like this. We're going to copy it and come into our Photoshop and paste it right here in Photoshop. So this is what we want. Okay, so I'll hit okay because we're actually done, and I'm going to move this to the top like this. All right, guys, so this is where we want it. So all I'm going to do is to drag its layer down below the emoji group like this, just as you are seeing me do it. From here I'll just have to move it like this to the top like that. So all I'm going to do is to go to filter, blur, and Gaussian blur. So I'll just make sure to convert it to smart object because I might need it later on like that. So here in the radius I'm going to increase it to a radius that fills nicely and makes the blur kind of look good on the page. So yeah, just as I'm doing, I'm just going to make sure to increase it just for it to fill the page like somewhere like this. So 50 is okay for us. Okay, guys, I'll hit okay because we're actually done. Control plus T to free transform. So I'm going to free transform this ellipse, okay, blurred ellipse like this. So all I'm going to do is to make it overly like that, just so that it covers every part of the man of God, something like this. Bring it down and just increase it a bit again like this. I'll increase it like that. Okay, so this is what we should be having on the page. I'll hit okay because we're actually done here. So this is it, the brightness on the page. Control plus T to free transform. I feel it's kind of too big, so I'm going to reduce it like that and a bit more like this. Okay, so I hit okay because we are actually done from here. Okay, though this is the brightness we want on the page behind the man of God, and we have gotten it. So this is it. This is what you do when you want to get the brightness at the back of them like that. Okay, guys, let's box on. So what we're going to do is to add the theme up in the name of Jesus, or wake up in the name of Jesus. So let's box on. What we're going to do from here, we are first going to take a horizontal type tool like this, and please link to download the fonts are in the description as well, so just in case. Okay, so Albertus extra bold like this. Okay, I'm going to take the font Albertus extra bold. So I'm going to make sure the VA is at 0. Okay, like this VA is at 0 like that, just to close the gaps there. And I'm going to increase the size like this. So I'm going to start by typing in the Jesus, okay, like this, Jesus text like this. Okay, so this is what we want, and we have gotten it. So I'll take done because we're actually done. I'll go to take my move tool, go to edit and free transform it. So I'm going to just free transform it. So all I'm going to do is to enlarge it or increase the size like this on the page. That's as you're seeing it. Okay, guys, so this is what we want on the page, and I'm increasing it a bit more like this. Okay, guys, so this is it. Okay, so you might want to check that it is well centered. So I just move it to the right so as to make sure we check it is well centered. All right, guys. So what I'm going to do is to go here to select and just select all like this and just take this center alignment and make sure it is well centered. I'll go back to select and just click on deselect to deselect the selection we have just made. All right, guys. From here, we have to give this guy a gradient fill. So all I'm going to do is to go to FX like this and take blending options. Okay, so we'll open our layer style. To open our layer style, okay, like that. From here I'll go to gradient overlay. So this is the gradient overlay. Okay, so this is it. All I'm going to do is to put the style on linear and just put angle on 0 like this and just click inside the gradient. So we're going to start our gradient fill again. I've already created the gradient, so I just want to start afresh with you guys so that beginners will take notes and everyone can practice. Okay, guys, so I'm going to take this left slider and click inside the color like this. Go into the details. We are going to take this yellow gradients like this. So I'm going to take the first color code right here at the left, copy it, and I'm going to have to paste it right here in Photoshop. So I'll paste it like this in Photoshop, and this is what we should be having. I'll click OK and take the right slider, click inside the color and go into the details. So here in the details, I'm going to take the same yellow gradient like this. I'm going to take the right color code like that, copy it and paste it right here in Photoshop like this. So this is what you should be having on your page and we are good to go. Okay, I'll hit OK because we're actually done. The settings are intact like that, so we are good to go. I'll hit OK because we are actually done. Okay, guys, so from here I'll take my horizontal type tool again, okay, and just going to type in the details more. Okay, so I'm going to type in with font Montserrat. Okay, I'm going to type in with the font Montserrat, but it has to be bold like that. So Montserrat black is okay. All right, guys, so I'm going to zoom in so that you guys will see what is actually going to happen right here. All right, so I'm going to type in the app like this. Okay, let me type it like this. All right, so this is okay. Okay, so this is the app like this. All right, guys, with Montserrat, I'll take my move to go to edit and free transform. I'm just going to have to move it like somewhere to the between, okay, the E and the S, right close to the J like that. I'll move it down a bit. Okay, so this is how I want a feeling on the page and I have gotten it. So this is it. All I'm going to do is take, because we're actually done from here, and I'm going to create a duplicate of this app text. So I'm going to just have to give it a color highlight of orange for now. Okay, so I'm going to make a duplicate of it like this and close the eye of the first one like this. Okay, let me give the first one the blue. Okay, so this is it. I've just closed the eye of the first one, and this is the second one like this. Okay, just that. Okay, so this is the second one like that. All I'm going to do is to come to the character panel and just click inside the color, okay, and just give it a color fill somewhere around the text like that, just to make it sample like somewhere around it like that. So all I'm going to do is to bring back the eye of the first one and make sure the bottom one is selected and just move down with the down arrow key on the keyboard just to have it filling like this on the page. So I'll move a bit more. Okay, I was just showing you, so I'll move a bit more like that just to have it filling like this on the page. I'll select them both, okay, the both of them like that, and go to edit and free transform it like this. So here I'm going to reduce the size, okay, somewhere like this a bit. Okay, so this is cool on the page and we are having it like this. So this is what you should be having if you're creating up to this point. So I'm going to then take my horizontal type tool again and just type in the wake. So this time around we are going with Montserrat. So inside the Montserrat we have the font style of somewhere semi bold is okay for now. Okay, so we're going to take semi bold like this, just reducing the size like that. Okay, I'm going to zoom in so that we can see what is actually happening right here like this. So I'm going to type in the wake like this so that it sounds something like wake up like that. Okay, so let me type in a wake like this and just reduce the size to somewhere to about 5. It's okay like this. Okay, 5 is somehow big. So 4 is okay, 4 point is okay. And come to the character panel and increase VA so that it catches up with the ends of the app text like that, just as we have created. Okay, I'll increase it to somewhere a bit more to 7,000. Sorry, it is actually 1,750. Okay, so this is okay, 50 is okay. And we are good to go. So this is it. This is it. Okay guys, position it on top, right on top of the app text like this, just moving it down with the down arrow key just to make it feeling like this on the page. All right guys, so this is what we should be having on our pages and we are good to go. Okay guys, so all I'm going to do from here is to take my ellipse tool, right in the shape tools like this, and create this nice ellipse at the top of the page like this. Okay guys, so this is what we should be getting on our pages like this, and all I'm going to do is to just create this nice ellipse. We're going to do this manually, okay, which is ourselves. Okay, so this is it. All I'm going to do is to make sure this ellipse is covering the mouth of the top of the S like this. Okay, so this is it. All I'm going to do is reduce the size a bit. Okay, like this is okay. So from here I'm just going to have to double click here in this tab now and sample this color around it and just make it a bit deep like this. Okay, just by ourselves. Okay, like this is okay. So all I'm going to do, let's copy this color code and paste it in our Photoshop. So you can as well type in these figures like this and paste it in the Photoshop just to get the same thing. So this is it. I'll hit OK because we're actually done. From here I'm going to make a duplicate of this shape like this, and let me give it the color it has to get. So yeah, let me give it white for now and go into my details and sample this left yellow gradient color like this, copy it, and I'm going to paste it right here in Photoshop. Okay guys, so this is it. This is what we actually have to be getting. It is actually two, so I'm going to close the eye of the first one and this is what we are having. So I'll go to edit and free transform it like this, and I'm going to reduce the size just for us to have it like this on the page. I'll reduce it more just so that it feels like the stroke of the ellipse, like the yellow ellipse like that. Okay, so this is what we are having on the page and we are good to go. I'll select the two and reduce the size. So I'll press Ctrl+T and reduce the size. I'll reduce the size just as you're seeing me doing something cool like this. Isn't bad at all. Okay guys, I'll move it to the top, but then make sure it is covering the mouth of the S there like this. Okay, all right guys, so this is what we're having and we are good to go. From here I'm going to take my horizontal type tool and type inside. Okay, I'm going to type in. Okay, first I'll go to the character panel and just reduce VA to 0 like this, 0 like that. Okay, I'll hit enter like that. Okay, so this is it. All I'm going to do is to type in off. Okay, so I'm going to type in off. So oops. So this is it, off like that with Montserrat. So I'm just going to have to give it a black color like this. Okay, so this is it. This is what we're having. I'm going to make the font style a bit deep like that. So Montserrat bold like this is okay. So I'll hit done because we're actually done. I'll take my move tool from here, go to edit, and I'll go to free transform. And here in the free transform, I'm just going to enlarge it a bit like this, just so it feels at the center of the circle it is on. Something like this is okay and we are good to go. All right guys, so this is it. This is cool. Okay, so let's box on. So all I'm going to do from here is to enlarge it. Okay, I'll take the ellipse together with the off like this 3 and Ctrl+C and enlarge it a bit more. Okay, something like this isn't bad. All right guys, so this is what we are having on the page. So yep, so I'm going to select all of it again. Okay, and make sure they are all well centered on the ellipse like that. Okay, so this is kind of cool, but I feel it is okay. So this is okay. So this is okay. I'm going to have to take my rectangle tool from here like this and create this nice rectangle at the page within this space right here like this. Okay, so over here like this, I'm going to have to release it like that just to create the rectangle. I'll take my move tool from here. Let me zoom in so you guys can see what is actually going to happen. So I'll take this top left scanner here and come to the properties and take the same top left scanner there like that, and make sure to uncheck the chain icon like this. Make sure to uncheck it. So I'm just going to increase the slider like that. Okay, so to somewhere about 30 like this is okay. So this is cool. So all I'm going to do is to just reduce it. So I'm going to press Ctrl+T, hold shift and drag from the top node like this, just as you are seeing it on the page. So this is it. I'm going to move it down a bit and then move it to the top like that. Somewhere like this is cool. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to just have to squeeze it in like that. Okay, so this is what we have to be getting on our pages, and we are good to go. So I'm going to bring this down below that of the ellipses we have created like this, just to have it feeling like this on the page. So this is it. We have it feeling like this, but I'm going to take the off shapes together with the text like this. I'll group it first, okay, just so that we find it very easy to identify. So I'm going to move the slider like this and press Ctrl+T and enlarge it like this, so that it catches up with the top of the shape like this one, like that. Okay, this is what we have on the page, and we are loving it. So I'm going to increase it a bit more because I actually want it to fill the top right there. Okay, this is okay, and we are good to go. Okay guys, so this is it. This is what we're having on our page, and I'm going to take the shape like that. So from here, all we are going to do is to double click here in this thumbnail and go into our details and take this blue gradient right here. So I'll take the left color code, copy it and paste it right here in Photoshop like this. Okay, so it's actually too deep, so what we are going to do is have to take the right color code like this, copy it and paste it right here in Photoshop. I think this is what we want. So this is it guys, so this is it. It's actually the right color like that. Okay guys, so inside this shape we are going to type in the name. Okay, so I'm going to take my horizontal type 2 and take the font Montserrat. Okay, make sure Montserrat font is selected, but inside the font style we are going to take the font style bold italic. Okay, the slanted font style. Okay guys, so in here I'm going to type in with a font size of 5 points, somewhere like this is okay, and let's go. I'll take my move tool and go to edit a free transform here. So all I'm going to do is enlarge it like this so that it fills the shape inside like this, just as you are seeing it. So I'll move it to the left like that. Okay guys, so I'll move it to the top a bit, just making sure that it is centered inside like that. Okay guys, so this is what you should be having on the page, and we are good to go. Alright guys, so it feels we are actually done with the text Jesus. So all I'm going to do is to go to file and import this last image for the Jesus text. So go to place embedded and bring in this Holy Spirit dove. Alright guys, so this is the Holy Spirit dove. All I'm going to do is reduce the size and right click on it and go to flip horizontal because I want it the other way or the other side. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in and select the dove like this and go to blend mode, put blend mode on screen just to make it pop out like this. Okay, it is actually filling on the Jesus text. I don't want it that way, but then I want it hiding behind the J text or the Jesus text. So all I'm going to do is to drag the layer down below that of the Jesus text right here. So this is the Jesus text. I'll drag it down below it like this just to have it filling like this. Okay, so this is the Jesus text and this is the Holy Ghost dove text image. Alright guys, let's box on. So this is what we should be having on the page, and we are good to go. So this is all about the Jesus text, and I'm going to group the whole of the text together with the dove. Okay, and group them, Ctrl+D to group as well. So this is it, all about it, and this is for the off text like that. So I'm going to name it Jesus. Okay, so this is what we're having on the page. I'll hit OK because we're actually done. From here, I'll go to select and select all. So this is it. I'll center align it, but then it is not going to make it well centered. So I'll go to select and deselect and go to edit and take free transform. So I'm going to do it myself. So the center alignment, you sometimes have to do it by yourself because here I want the text filling at the center, but not filling at the center together with the dove. Okay, all right, so I'll just create it myself, and this is what we should be having on our page. Okay, so this is it, just having it filling like this on the page. Lovely, and we are good to go. Let's box on guys. From here, all I'm going to do is to just come to the top here and just take my rectangle tool from here, and I'll go down here to create this nice rectangle on the page, just as you're seeing me doing like this. Okay guys, so this is what we are having on the page, and I'm going to release it like this. Okay guys, so this is it. This is our rectangle. All I'm going to do is to move it somewhere to the top. Okay, let me move it to the bottom like this, and make sure it is in alignment with the text like this. Okay, bring the ruler just so that it fills well like this. So all I'm going to do is move it to the side like this, and we are good to go. Okay guys, so from here all I'll do is to go to FX and go to blending options like this. So just open our layer style. So here the layer style, I'm going to gradient overlay. So here in the gradient overlay, I'm going to make sure style is on linear like this, and take the angle of 0 degrees and just click inside the gradients. So I have my gradients made, so I'm going to show you how to create the blue gradient like this from here. So I'm going to take this left slider, click inside the color, and go into the details. So here in the details, we have these blue gradients like this. So we are going to take the first color code at the left like that, copy it and paste it right here in Photoshop like this. Okay, this is what we should be having. So I hit on OK, and we are going to take the right slider, click inside the color and go into the details and take the right color like this, copy it, and we're going to then paste it in Photoshop like this. Okay, this is what we actually have to be getting on our pages. So yeah, let's box on. I'll hit on OK before we're actually done from here. So this is it. Hit on OK again. We are good to go. Okay, so from here I'm going to take the shape tool again. Inside the shape tool, I'm going to take the rectangle tool. Okay, so from here I don't want it to merge down into the layer or the shape like we have just created. So I'm going to have to create a new layer on top and just create the nice rectangle at the top of the page. The rectangle is on like this. Okay, so over here I'll take my move tool and come into the properties panel. Make sure it is on check like this, the highlight as well unchecked like that, and take the top right corner like this slider right here in the properties and increase it. So I'm going to then increase it to somewhere about 35 is okay. So 35 pixels and we are good to go, and this is what we should be having on our pages. So this is well okay for us. Okay guys, so let's box on. I'm just going to have to create a new layer again and take my rectangle tool and create this nice rectangle from the ruler like that we have just created, or the ends of the blue rectangle like that, and just create it. So this is what we should be having on our pages, and I'm going to take my move tool from here, go inside here, make sure it is in alignment with the blue gradient shape rectangle like that, and we're good to go. So this is it. This is what we should be having. From here I'll go to the shape tool and take the rectangle tool. Okay, so inside the rectangle tool I'll come to the top here, the settings here. I'll make sure to close the eye of the fill like this, and just take the stroke and give it a stroke of white. Okay, or you can click inside the color palette and give it white from here. From here all we're going to do is to increase the stroke size to about, let's say, 2 points. It's okay. Hit enter, and yeah, it's a bit deep, so this is okay for us on the page, and we are good to go. From here I'll take my move tool. We want it not filling this way, but I want it right behind the blue, which is this blue rectangle right here. So all I'm going to do, this is the shape we want. I'm going to drag the layer down below that of the blue rectangle, and we will have it filling like this on the page. So this is it. This is what we should be having. From here I'm going to have to rasterize the layer of this stroke rectangle we have just created. So I'm going to right click on it and go to so this is it. This is what we are having from here. I'm going to right click and rasterize the layer. Okay, right here I'll take rasterize layer like this. Okay, so from here I'm going to take my rectangular murky tool like this and just draw this nice selection at the center of the stroke rectangle like this, just right here. This side is going to take our quotation. So yeah, so that is it. I'm just going to go to edit and cut like this. Okay, just to create the spacing right there. Okay guys, so this is what we should be getting on our pages. So this is it guys, this is it. So all I'm going to do is to just type in the details. Okay, from here, so all I'm going to do is to take the rectangle tool like this and type in with the horizontal type tool like this. Oops, we don't want it this way. So I'm going to take the rectangle tool again and take the horizontal type tool. I'm going to type in with Montserrat, so Montserrat, but a bit lighter. So I'm going to go with Montserrat medium italic and reduce the size to somewhere about 15 points like this. Oops, it's too big, so I'm going to reduce it again to 8. So this is it. Let's zoom and type in first with it. So this is it. So I'm going to have to type in the quotation first. So Psalm 23 verse 5 to 7. So this is it. This is what we're having. I'm going to have to select or highlight or go to my character panel and increase the VA, something like this, and decrease the size of the font, like the text like this, somewhere about 6, and increase the VA again. I'm going to reduce the size again and increase the VA just to get it feeling like something cool on the page. All right, guys. So this is it. These are part of the editings or the decisions that goes on when you're creating a church flyer. So it is normal. Okay. So from here, I'm going to have to take this shape like this and take the horizontal type tool from here. I'm going to have to type in word Montserrat, but this time around we are going with the color of black. Okay, guys, so all I'm going to do is to reduce the VA here in the character panel to 0 like this, and let me zoom in so that you guys will be seeing what is going to happen here. So I'm going to type it with the font Montserrat, but this time around it has to be a bit bold. So bold, like, okay, semi-bold is okay. So Montserrat semi-bold like this. Okay, guys, so I'm going to have to type in the theme. So this is the theme. Oops, sorry, theme. All right, guys, so this is it. All I'm going to do is to increase the boldness. So I'm going to take the font style bold, Montserrat bold, take down because we're actually done, and take my move to go to edit and free transform. I'm going to increase the size of the text for the theme text like this, just as you're seeing me doing. So this is what we should be having on our pages. So yeah, I'm just moving it, making sure that it's well centered. You can as well do this, select the text together with the shape right below it like that, and take the center alignment just to make sure it's well centered on the page. Something like this is really cool. All right, guys, so I'm going to take this gradient ellipse to shape we just created and take my horizontal type tool. I'm going to type in the theme, the actual theme like this. Okay, right here. So all I'm going to do is zoom in. I'm going to zoom in, okay, and give it white like this. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to have to type in the theme, the actual theme. Welcome. Okay, guys, so from here all I'm going to do is to take my move tool and go to edit and free transform. Here I'm going to just increase the size of our text like this. Okay, guys, so just like this, and we are good to go. All right, guys, I'll move it to the top with the top arrow key on the keyboard, and we are good to go. All right, guys, so this is it. This is what we should be having on our pages, and we having it. Okay, guys, so this is it. All right, so all I'm going to do is to locate all of them and group it. Okay, so right here, there they are. I'm going to group all of this and name it theme like this. Okay, guys, so this is what we actually have to be getting on the page. If you are here, I salute you. Well done. So there's a correction here, we just have to make it. Okay, so this is it. All I'm going to do is to reduce the size here like this and like that. Okay, so I'm going to move it to the top, and we are good to go. Okay, so this is it. This is what we should be having like that on the page, and we are good to go. All right, guys, so over here all I'm going to do is to add the church name to the page. Okay, so here I'll go to the top here and be adding the church name. So we are going to first have to create a space for the logo. So we'll come to the shape tools and take the ellipse tool like this. So with the ellipse tool selected, I'm going to create this nice ellipse right here at the left side of the page like this. Okay, so from here I'm going to hold Alt and drag to the right, okay, just to make a duplicate at the right like this. I'll select them both. Okay, let me zoom in so that you guys will be seeing what is actually going to happen here. Let me move it close, okay, with the left arrow key on the keyboard. Okay, so I'm going to just select both, go to edit and free transform. I'm going to have to reduce the size. I'm going to reduce the size like this, and we are good to go. Okay, guys, I'm going to move it like that, and we are good to go. All right, guys, so this is what we should be getting on the page, and yep, let's box on. From here I'm going to take this first ellipse like this and go to file and place embedded. Here I'm going to bring in this logo, apostolic logo like this, and I'm going to reduce the size like that. Let me zoom in like this. I'm going to reduce the size so that it fits on the ellipse we have just created like this, something like this. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to make sure it's well inside like that. Okay, move it to the top a bit, and we are good to go. This is it. I'm going to go to file and go to place embedded like this. I'm going to bring in this church logo like that. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to reduce the size like this. Make sure it's on the ellipse here like that. So I'm going to move it to the top of the ellipse, and yeah, this is what we should be having. Oops, Control plus Z to undo that. I'm going to select this, Control plus T to free transform, I'm going to reduce the size like this, and this is what we have to be getting. I'm going to change the color of this logo here. So all I'm going to do is to go to file and go to FX and blending options, okay, and here to open our layer style. So I'm going to take the color overlay. So here in the color, I'm going to just take a color of somewhere about black. You can either take black or go into the details and take this deep, okay, color from the first gradient. So copy and take like this, just to make it nice like that. So this is it. We are going with that color. So yeah, hit OK because we're actually done. We are going to have to make sure it is well centered. So I'll select it together with the ellipse like that and make sure it is well centered like this for you. Okay guys, so this is what we're having on our pages like that. So I'm going to take our horizontal type tool and make sure to type in with Montserrat font like that, and we are good to go. So I'm going to zoom in like this. So let me move the slider to the top like that. So over here I'm going to type in the church names, and we are good to go. So I'm going to type in with Montserrat bold. Okay, let me go with extra bold italic, and yeah, so I'm going to type in the name of the church, and we are good to go. Alright guys, welcome. So what I'm going to do is to select the whole of the text, the church name like this, and make sure it is well aligned, okay, at the center like this. Okay, so this is what we should be getting. So let me select all of it. I'll go to edit and free transform, and just make sure I create some spacing and enlarge it a bit like that right here at the top of the page. Let me move it to the left a bit so that it feels somewhere to the center of the page. Something like this is okay. I'll select the logos together with the ellipse they are on, together with the names we have just typed, and I'll group the whole of it like this. Okay, so I'm going to name it church name, and we are good to go. Alright guys, let's box on. So what we're going to do, let me close this, and we are good to go. Alright guys, so we're going to add the location and the date at the bottom, right at the white space here like this. Okay, so what we're going to do is to take our horizontal type tool like this. Okay, so we're going to type in here like this, but I'm going to type in with black. Make sure you have the black color selected, and I'm going to type in with Montserrat, but then Montserrat has to be a standard font. So this is it, extra bold, Montserrat extra bold like this. I'll hold Alt and scroll wheel, zoom in like that, just to type in. Let me zoom in so that you guys see what is going to happen like that. I'm going to type in the 18th to 25th. Alright, so I'm going to type in the details. So yeah, catch you guys. Okay guys, so this is, oops, sorry, let me close that and take my move to, this is what we have to be getting on our pages. So I'm going to select the whole of the location and date we have just typed, and make sure they are well centered. I'll group them like this and name it location, okay, lock for short, and just Ctrl+T and move it to the top so that it fills within the space right there. Okay, so this is it. This is what we want. Ctrl+0 to zoom to fit to page, and we are good to go. So we are left with one last round. So what we're going to do is to type in the time for the program. So I'm going to just take the ellipse tool right here, and all I'm going to do is to create a very nice ellipse right at the side here of the page, because that is where there is space. Okay, so yeah, so this is it. It's having a black color for now. Okay, so from here I'll take the shape tool again, and at the top here we can see the settings. So what I'm going to do is to close the fill like this by taking the box with red stroke within it like that, or slash like that, and come here to the strokes, click inside and just take any color, and then it will be filling strokely for you. Okay, I'll make it a bit deep, so by increasing the size like this, I'll just increase the size to 2 and we are good to go. So from here, all I'm going to do is to take my ellipse tool again, create a new layer because I don't want it to merge down into the layer below it. Create a new ellipse on the top like this. I'll take my move tool and just bring this ellipse down here, just so that I place it on the stroke like ellipse on the page, just as you are seeing it. I'm going to reduce the size and make sure it is on top like this a bit. Okay, so this is it. This is what we're having on the page. I'll position it on it, and this is what you'll be having, so that it feels like a ring or something like this. Okay guys, so I'll take my horizontal type tool from here, and I'm going to type in the name. Okay, the time. Okay, I'll type time and just type the name. Okay, so I'm going to type in 6 o'clock p.m. Let me hit enter, and we're having it like this. I'll just select or go to the character panel and just reduce the gap like this, and we are good to go. So this is it. This is what we have to be getting on our page. I'll reduce it to somewhere about 9. Let's say 8.5, 8.5, 8.5, like that, and we are good to go. I'm going to have to give it this color, yellow color on the page like that, and we are good to go. I'll move it to the center like this, and yep, this is it. So all I'm going to do is to type in the word time. So on top of this ellipse, I'm going to type in time, but then it has to be a different color. So I'm going to take the color from our details. So this deep, the first gradient like this, I'm going to take the first, the right color code like this, and paste it right here in Photoshop, and we are good to go. All right guys, so this is what we want. I'm going to just have to reduce the size to somewhere about 4 like this. Let me zoom in and change the font. So I'm going to have to take the font brush script MT for this particular word. So yeah, so I'll take my move to go to edit and free transform. From here I'm going to just enlarge it so that it fills the center or the space in the ellipse like this. Ctrl+0 to zoom to fit to page, and so far so good. We're having it something like this. So yep, we are left with the names of the men of God. So I'm just going to help you with the first name of the man of God. So I'll create a new layer like this, so that the rest of it I'll just make it a speed up, so as to, or for us not to waste time. Okay guys, let's box on. So from here, all I'm going to do is to just type inside the new layer like this. I'll take my horizontal type tool, and I'm going to type in with brush script MT. So I'm going to type in with a font color of white like this, and just increase the size of the font like this. So I'm just going to type in the title, which is host like this. So I'm going to type in host like this. Okay, just as you are seeing it. So this is it. So I'll take down because I'm actually done. I'll take my horizontal type tool again. So here I'm going to type in with the font Montserrat. So this is it, Montserrat, but then I'm going to have to take the font style of semi-bold. So this is it, semi-bold, and we are good to go. So I'm going to type in the name Paul O2 like this. Okay, so this is it. All I'm going to do is to take down because I'm actually done. I'll take my move to go to edit and take free transform. So over here, all I'm going to do is to reduce the size. Yep, and position it right here, like somewhere like this, and we are good to go. So I'll select them both like this and hold Alt. Okay, let me position it right here on top of him like that. Hold Alt and drag to the right, and see you at the end of the writing of the man of God. Okay guys, alright guys, welcome. So this is what we're having, and yeah, I'm going to have to group the whole of the names of the men of God like this. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to group them, and this is what we are having on the page. Okay guys, welcome to the end of this video. I hope this video helped you, and if it did, don't forget to hit on the like and subscribe button so as to stay a part of my family here on YouTube, and also don't forget to hit on the notification bell icon. Please turn it on so as to get all notifications anytime I drop a new video in the near future. See you in my next tutorial, and you also see me in my next tutorial. I'm out. Bye bye.